And my name is Rohit. I work for Cisco Systems India Private Limited. And I will be taking you through the innovation, what we do in the Cisco Systems India Private Limited, specifically in terms of MediaNet. Okay? Just to give you perspective of MediaNet, what MediaNet is. I do not have to say that every year the video demand is on rise. We are having new endpoints with new video capabilities, but the network itself is not ready to service these video requirements. Nowadays we think if we see a jitter in the video, it's okay. But that all has to change with the new innovation which we are calling MediaNet here. Just to go more into what I'm trying to say, what are the challenges with MediaNet? Today we have demand for the video. However, the endpoint itself are so difficult to be deployed. When I'm talking about the endpoints, I'm talking about the video surveillance cameras. I'm talking about the telepresence units. I'm talking about the conferencing units. All of these equipments, when you take them to the field, you need somebody high skills to put them and then configure the devices. The quality of experience which you see today with all the video endpoints is not as per the expectation with the customers. We have video, as mentioned before. The quality of experience is one factor. If you do not provide with video, it does not work. And believe me, unless the network itself is intelligent enough, whatever we do with the video is not going to work. Today, the network is not intelligent enough to handle video with the high priorities. And that's what is the root cause of the video deployment problems. There are three factors which I'm sharing in this slide. The network does not know what type of video you are sending it across. The quality of experience is bad, and then the endpoints are so difficult to deploy today. How does MediaNet solve this problem? This is what Cisco MediaNet architecture is. We want to make sure that the network elements are intelligent enough so that they handle the video better. We also want to make sure that the endpoints which are getting deployed get the necessary intelligence via Cisco MediaNet initiative. It should only not solve the service provider to business problem, but it should also solve the problem for the business to business and business to the customer. As you can see here, we are talking about the smarter endpoints, we are talking about the smarter network. And MediaNet is a combination of both of those things. I'll move to the next slide. MediaNet on its own comes with the 4 primary solutions. The first of that solution is the auto-config. What do I mean by auto-config? Whenever I plug any video device anywhere, the network should configure itself for the respective endpoint. I do not have to go and configure the corresponding network element for this specific endpoint. If I have to do that, then it just kills the plug and play functionality. And believe me, as video is going to get more and more deployed, the plug and play functionality is a must for all the video endpoints. Video monitoring. We are all talking in terms of video. What happens if the video is not good? If the other end video received quality is of bad quality, do we know where the problem is? Unfortunately today, it's very difficult to find out where the video is going bad. With video monitoring, as part of MediaNet, we provide the exact element where the problem is being occurred, which network element is causing the package to be dropped, and that aspect is covered as part of video monitoring. The third use case we are talking about is the RSVP resource reservation. For any important video flow, you have to make sure that the network treats it with intelligence with the cause. For that to happen, the network should reserve bandwidth for the video endpoint ahead of time. The CAC, the call admitted control, provides per flow reservation, which is covered as part of the resource reservation. And then we have metadata. Endpoint should tell what it is, so the network can take care of it according to the property of the endpoints. And that's covered as part of metadata. There are two initiatives which is totally driven out of Cisco India Private Limited. They are metadata and MSP. I will come over what MSP is on the next slide. These are the initiatives which are conceptualized out of India and taken to the market from Cisco India Private Limited. Before I go there, why do you need a MediaNet? As I mentioned, you need to be able to deploy endpoint very easily. You need to find out where exactly is the problem, and you need to reduce the capex for the video deployment. So let's talk about the two things which Cisco India is proud of, which we have delivered out of Cisco India, the metadata and the MSP. I will talk about metadata first. If you see video surveillance camera here, it should be able to tell to the entire network that I am video surveillance camera, I send RTP flows, this is my clock frequency and other parameters. Once these parameters are sent to the network, each element in the network is aware about them and can provide them the priorities or the other attributes. The elements on the network are where we are adding all this intelligence and for the endpoint to signal this metadata. Going to the next point, what is the impact of metadata? Why we are talking about what the value does it add to the network? If you go next, we are trying to build the infrastructure which will mean that we enhance the network elements. These are the network elements which we are talking about, that all this network element should add the support of metadata so that they know from this source to this destination, this is the traffic being flowed, and I can apply appropriate quality of services to these flows. And then I have these endpoints which are signaling this metadata. Now these endpoints which can be WebEx, or it can be telepresence, or it can be anything else, which send this information to the network that this is my flow property, so please treat them accordingly. And then we have the consumption. Once we have this metadata, based on that, not only we can apply the cost, not only we can provide the flow export, but we can also apply the video monitoring policies on the same thing. Let's talk about MSP, Media Services Proxy. Whatever I talked in terms of MediaNet, I have talked two things. One is you need to upgrade network. Second thing is you need to upgrade endpoints. But then how will it work for third-party endpoints? How will it be the interop with other vendors? And the answer to that is Media Services Proxy. The MediaNet should also work for the third-party endpoints. So what do we do for that? We provide a functionality called Media Services Proxy. So Media Services Proxy looks at the standard protocol definition, which is already supported by these endpoints. These protocols are MDNS, DHCP, RTP, and then it provides the services which we already talked before. The ASP is the auto smart port, which is auto config, then the RSVP, flow metadata, and the cost functionality. Just going more into the use cases, how exactly it works. You have different endpoints connected to the network elements. Network elements identified what type of these endpoints are. It's saying, oh, this is the device type, this is the name, this is the application. I can identify based on the standard protocols. And then it says, okay, I know all about this video endpoint. I can auto configure the network for this endpoint. And that's how the plug and play service for all the endpoints is achieved into the MSP. This is one of the use case for the Media Services Proxy. I will go to the next use case, which is MSP offering call admission control. Again, why call admission control is important? If you do not provide call admission control, we cannot guarantee costs for any of the video flows. So again, we have the endpoints. We have the media services proxy on the network element. It identifies the flows which are coming from these endpoints. It identifies what is the bandwidth requirements for these endpoints and these flows. And then it does the RSVP reservation on the network for the same element. What do we get out of RSVP? Now this corresponding flow will get the cost what it was destined for. If a new flow comes for which the reservation doesn't go through, it will not affect existing video quality. So you get quality of experience with the call admission control through the media services proxy. Again, I talked about metadata, why metadata is important. Metadata is a way by which every device in the network is saying, I am this and this, please provide equivalent QoE for me. And with media services proxy, we can provide metadata functionality for third-party endpoints as well. Okay. So if you see here, again, the device is identified that this is the corresponding device and this is the corresponding flow. It says these are the flow parameters from this source address to this destination address for these ports. This is the application which it is. And based on that, it can advertise the same thing to the entire network. Once this reaches to the entire network can look at this and provide corresponding quality of services parameters. Last week, we talked to Swedish Rail Authority. What is the social impact and the other impact of this innovation? Today, everywhere we are facing a problem where the video surveillance cameras are deployed all around the country. If I want to give a high priority to one video surveillance camera, which is next to accident-prone zone, what should I do? What is the solution today? That I should be able to give high priority to any video unit which is next to accident-prone zone. MediaNet is the answer, because through MediaNet, you can say this video surveillance camera which is next to the accident zone should get higher priority. That corresponding video surveillance camera will send that information to the network. The network will be intelligent enough to provide the required services for that video surveillance camera. MediaNet is making network intelligence. Today, we have given this MediaNet India demos to almost 200 plus customers. MediaNet on its own has won almost like $10 million of deals all around the world. In India, still it's a new concept and is being deployed. But the way it is, the more the video growth, the more is the adoption of the MediaNet. So with this, I will come to end. Any question and answers for you guys?
Just please mention any particular client of yours with a case study, because it's not very clear, because most of the examples you gave were only with respect to surveillance, whereas video has other applications as well. Sure. So just if you can illustrate a bit more.
Sure. So one of the other example is telepresence. Like again, telepresence has various forms: Cisco telepresence, Polycon telepresence. When you connect your Polycon telepresence, it uses standard protocols. So the network on its own understands those protocols and provides services to those telepresence as well. Video surveillance is one good example because that's where we have deployed the first time, but it's equally applicable to any endpoints which uses standard protocol like SIP or RTP protocols. So telepresence is one more good example where it can be used. Did I answer your question? It's already being EFT'd with 3 customers. One is the Singapore Foundry Networks. Singapore Foundry Networks use soft phones in their PCs. Now the problem with the soft phone is, again, the network congestion goes bad and the quality of service for the soft phone goes very bad. So they have deployed MSP as an EFT customer. What do we do with MSP? We identify a soft phone and we give higher quality of services to those soft phone. So with that, all the soft phone are getting the necessary quality what is required for them. So we have 3 major customers. One is Swedish Rail Authority, which I mentioned for the video surveillance cameras. Their mainly uses is for the accident-prone zone. If an accident happens, they just want to make sure that camera gets high priority. The other is the Singapore Foundry. The Singapore Foundry is using MediaNet because what they want to achieve is the higher quality for the soft phone. And our third customer is France Telecom. For the France Telecom, the requirement is the video VOD server. They want to make sure that when everybody is accessing VOD, they get the required CAC output from that. So these are 3 customers which we're doing EFT with.
Is there a way to find out the content if there is objectionable content, or for security purpose you want to monitor particular words in the voice part of the video or something? Deep packet.
So I think what you're asking about is the deep packet inspection technologies. Deep packet inspection technology exists and it can be used to find out those information as well. However, the challenge with deep packet inspection is that more and more traffic is getting encrypted going forward. So once the traffic is not encrypted, we can go much more deeper into the traffic and find out the relevant parameters out of it as it is today.
What about consumer? Are you only working on enterprise level, or are you looking at consumer-driven scenarios also? Because user-generated content, for example.
MediaNet first target customers were enterprise customers. The second target customer is service providers, and that's how it reaches to the end users as well. All the EFT customers I mentioned are enterprise customers. Going forward, how it gets deployed into the service provider is a Tenberg solution. Tenberg telepresence is a specific example where it gets deployed almost on the service provider market, and we are trying to solve the problems. Our challenge with the endpoint is NAT and other scenarios which we are working on.